Hey, what's going on guys, Migzuba here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a SELESNYA LURRUS counters/adventures deck for standard best of one. So this deck came about when I tried to build a SELESNYA counters deck, but I didn't want to run any really bad cards like the Ozolith first of all, or other cards like the 3-mana Ooze that grows creatures when it attacks, or Basri's Lieutenant without a way to cheat it out like Winota. So all the good cards, or what I consider good cards, that have the counter archetype were 1 and 2 mana, which made me lean into the Lurrus Companion. And because we are also a pretty linear aggressive deck, I wanted a way to get card advantage, and taking from Gruul, where they only really run 8 adventure creatures and the Innkeepers, I have that sort of logic here, where we run exactly 8 adventure creatures and the 4 Innkeepers as another form of card advantage alongside the Lurrus. So we'll get into the deck more specifically. We got the Swarm Shambler, same as last video, where it enters with a +1/+1 counter. If it dies, you get to spawn a 1/1, and you can buff it up for 1 mana. Just a pretty solid 1-drop in the deck. We're fairly aggressive. Aspirant from mono white, beef up your creatures, pretty good. Ooze, we typically have a bunch of spare mana because we are a low curve aggressive deck, so growing your Ooze and basically getting double counters off your Mentor and Ooze is pretty nice, which leads us to the Mentor, kind of like the main reason we play the deck. It makes all our +1/+1 counters greater, which is really nice to have. It puts an additional one. Like if you put 1 +1/+1 counter, it puts a second, so it's pretty solid. The Stonecoil Serpent, again, enters with +1/+1 counters on it, and you can recur from the yard from Lurrus. You can pump all your mana into it to make it huge. Protection from multicolored, reach, trample, pretty great card. Now I'll get into the adventure side of the deck. Obviously, we have Innkeeper, Giant Killer. It's a removal spell and a creature with a tap ability, so pretty good. Guide Mother, we can get some pretty high damage numbers off of Primal Might, and then being able to give that creature flying and fly over for extra damage can be pretty solid also, albeit that does require a lot of mana, but our deck is really cheap, so we also want ways to use all of our mana every turn. Flax and Intruder, never casted this for the 7 mana create 3/2/2 bears, but it's pretty nice to have. It's a way to remove Cleave, it's a way to remove in control matchups the tome, or if it manages to sneak through, you can get rid of a Henge, that type of thing. It's not a bad card, but really it's just a 1 mana creature to draw a card off Innkeeper. Shepherd of the Flock, the 1 mana adventure is really nice. You get to save something if you really want to save a Conclave Mentor or like a Ooze or whatever, or even an Innkeeper. And if not, 2 mana 3/1 isn't a bad body either. For the removal spells, 2 Primal Mights, just so we can have that power boost in a fight effect. Our creatures get pretty large with the Aspirant, Ooze, that type of thing, so Primal Might gets in there. Abundance, as a way to kind of add more +1/+1 counters. It's on theme. It can be a fight effect. This can be a just more Glass Caskets or more Primal Mights if you want, or even the 2 mana card that kind of does a fight, but it's more of a bite. I can't remember, it's 1 in a green, but you guys should know what I'm talking about. It's in yesterday's mono green video. I like the option, like I said before, you can pump 5 mana into it to get all these effects, and since we are a low curve Lurrus deck, having ways to spend our mana is really key. Glass Casket, I like this because if they blow up the casket or if it gets countered or removed, then we can always use it as a removal spell with Lurrus. Lurrus says each of your turns you may cast 1 permanent, so this is a permanent, which is pretty nice. Or if it gets milled, we have a removal spell in our graveyard once we cast our Lurrus. For the mana base, I don't want any tap lands because we are a very aggressive deck. And so for that, we run 2 Arten Veil to create more 1/1s, put more pressure. The green one, Garen Brig, isn't really necessary. We don't need all that green mana. 5 plains, 5 forests, pretty even split. We have a slight lean towards green, but we also have the castles, which I want to be able to create 1/1s with if need be. The Pathways, the Fabled Passage, which is the only potential tap land in the deck, but it also fixes our mana, and the Emeria's Call. If ever you get up to 7 lands, you can create the Angels, and it's pretty nice if you have a board presence that you can make indestructible. So yeah guys, that's the list. It will be in the description down below. If you guys are enjoying this type of video and liking the decks, be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing. And yeah, let's get into the games. Okay. Nice little aggressive curve, removal spell. Maybe we draw an Innkeeper for the Giant Killer. let's get into it. Another fun part about playing Lurrus is everyone thinks you're rogues or cycling, which we just aren't. Let's beef this up, just push through more damage. If this is mono red, they'll remove the Aspirant anyways with a Bone Crusher Giant, so yep. We just get an extra point of damage. That could have made a 1-1, but I think all in all it's fine. Alright, we'll get double white for Lurrus and all these extra adventure creatures. So we can go here. And I think I just play some stuff out. Sorry. Go for a Shambler, and we'll go for a Guide Mother as well. Weird how we're the aggressor here. I'm always used to being on the defensive against mono red. But yeah, we can giant kill that. So I think we just do that. Don't let them have any tempo. And get in there with the team. Pass turn as fast as possible, as to not let them know we have a Stone Coil Serpent with the stick. Ooh, so maybe not mono red. Interesting. Gruul, okay. Yeah, that's Gruul, alright. Another Aspirant. Okay. They might have a Henge here. I think we just try to play as aggressively as possible. Aspirant can beef up my flyer and get in there. Then we can play the Giant Killer, other half, and pass the turn. In Keeper, they're bottlenecked on green, so we shouldn't be expecting a Henge unless they top deck a Forest. Bone Crusher Giant is fine, albeit a little annoying. Alright, Pathway. So how do we want to play this? If I play the Pathway, this gets beefed up to... Do I just have lethal if I pump the Guide Mother to the sky? So it'll be 3 mana, it'll be 5, 6, and then we just go wide. Yeah, let's do it. So we can go here, go 1, 2, 3. Target Guide Mother, fight Innkeeper. Nice. Now opponent only has 1 blocker. We can make the Guide Mother even bigger. And at this point, we don't even need to attack with the Aspirant. We can just go like this. And that's lethal. Taking out Gruul. Albeit they did have a slower start and they were bottlenecked on green for a minute, but hey, they should have taken a mulligan, and that's one of the best decks in the format, so not bad. Okay, this hand I am not a fan of. Double Giant Killer doesn't really do anything. Removal spell, 4 lands. I think we send this away. And this is better, for sure. Now the question is, do I care about my 1-drop? Or do I think I take out the Casket, because we don't know what we're playing against, and this can sort of act as a removal spell. Mono red. Okay. So first mistake, drop off the cheap removal. Anyways, we can still play this out as a 1-2, which blocks the Fervent Champion hilariously. Yep. Alright, what you got? Bone Crusher Giant. If they take the turn to stomp this, or Shock, okay. So Shock is really good against us, as you can probably imagine. So to get the Mentor down or the Aspirant, I think we just go for the Mentor, right? Like, it can make all our creatures pretty huge. So this says if 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be placed on a creature, that many +1 are put on that creature. Okay, so this basically, if we put 2 mana into it, we get a 3/3. Alright, Phoenix. Not bad. Hopefully you can hit a land here. No land. Okay. So we just go for the Aspirant, I guess. Go to combat. Make a 4/4. Nice. Who's the beatdown now, mono red? Okay. That's actually so fun. All right, now they're gonna come in hot, take a land, which I do need. No blocks. All right, another land. So how do we play this? I think we just try to be as aggro as possible. If they had cleave, they would have used it that turn, attacking with 3 creatures. So let's play this on white. Play out this mentor. Go to combat. Make another 4/4. Nice. Get in there. Alright, so this should become a 3/3 if I understand the interaction correctly. Yup, which blocks the Phoenix. Torbrand, okay. And the opponent holds back on the Torbrand. So how do we want to play this? Definitely playing land. This can fight another creature. It can make us gain life, which or it can distribute more +1/+1 counters. So what happens if I give all my counters to the Serpent with trample and flying? So let's say I give it flying, it already becomes a 5-powered creature. Then if the double +1/+1 counter, it'll be 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, we so have lethal at this. Alright, so we give this to the Serpent. We probably had lethal a number of ways, but yep, 8 power. So we just go here. 1 attacker. And we can go Inscription of Abundance. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Oh, look at that. Crazy. Yo, this Conclave Mentor goes nuts, guys. I also really like how cheap and low to the ground we are. It helps the turns go by super smoothly. Okay. Hand seems fine. Drawing an Innkeeper would help. We have 2 adventure creatures. And drawing pretty much any 2-drop would be nice, but we can still stay alive for a pretty good amount of time with the Shambler. Alright, mono red again. Hello. So I think... Oh, okay, there's the Innkeeper. Alright, so... I kind of immediately want to go for the Intruder, but we can draw another card off the Innkeeper if we do that, so... Maybe we just go for the Shambler, get on the board. We can take the block to prevent 1 damage if we really care about that. I don't think we take the block. Alright, they get a Shambler of their own, which can be a little bit annoying. So we play this on white. We can take out their Fervent Champion. I don't think that's it. I think we just play some 1/2s, draw some cards, try to hit lands, and outvalue our mono red opponent while putting out a million bodies. Stomps the Giant Killer. Okay. So do we take a double block here? I definitely think we can outcard them. I think the only way they really beat us is with damage. So I do think we take this block, as weird as it sounds. Okay. So now we can go for another Innkeeper. Play this on green, I think. Even though we're going to need double white in the future. Play out the Intruder to draw a card. And we will go for a 1/1 Serpent. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent's looking for lands, but then again, so are we. Okay, there's an Annex. Alright, kind of regretting not playing this on white now, but it really helped in our turn sequence. So if this gets in damage, I can sacrifice and destroy an artifact or an enchantment, which is Annex. So I think we just fight the Fervent Champion. Go here. And if the opponent... Okay, opponent gets a 1/1, that's fine. But we just go here. And if the opponent doesn't take the block, they have to sacrifice their annex. So they should just take the, actually no, I don't know. Interesting play, but yeah, we do that. They have to sack the annex. Or we just get to blow it up. Okay. Reading the innkeeper. Alright, I'll take that block. Get them further off cleave. Again, I just don't want to give mono red a board presence. Castle's not bad. It's our second white source. I think I just make a big snake though. If we ever take out this charger, then the innkeeper just dies. It dies to shock anyways. Alright. Can you take out a 5/5? So now we have Lurrus to fall back on. We have another removal spell. And the castle to make even more 1/1s. Shepherd's not bad. If I pump this to the moon, we take out the giant and push through for some damage. I think maybe I can be the aggressor at this point. So go for 4. Fight the giant, take 2. The opponent's creatures aren't big, so even if they cleave us at this point, I am not super worried. We survived the early onslaught. And yeah, 9 power trampler is pretty big. Yep, opponent down to 7. Embereth probably off the top. Phoenix of Ash. Okay, opponent should have attacked with the 1/1. It literally can't block. Okay, so we can kick this right now. Fight a creature. Wait, is that just lethal if we play this right now? So we fight the Phoenix, attack with 7. No, it's not lethal, but it's really close to it. And we gain so much life, I think we just go for this. Well, if they block wrong, then it is just lethal, right? So let's attack. If they don't block, then we just give it the 2+1/+1 counters. Alright, opponent goes for the double block. I guess I don't need to do this then. Sure. Maybe they're holding a Bone Crusher Giant. Shock. Alright, we can do this now then. And I can just do it for the +1/+1 counters. We don't need to kick it. We can gain some life, but I don't think that's necessary. Just beef up the Stonecoil Serpent. And that's game. So the rest of the turn I can just buy Lurrus, or I can play out the Shepherd. But yeah, we had plenty of options. We could have kicked that, gained 7 life, or up to 20. At that point, we probably just can't lose. But yeah, guys, mono red seems to be going pretty well. Okay. Yeah, hand seems pretty good. Let's go. Opponent takes a mulligan. Nice. Not a very counters-oriented hand minus the Serpent, but the double Innkeeper is great alongside 2 adventure creatures. And there's not much turn 1 removal in the format. There's like Shock and Bloodchief's Thirst, also Spikefield Hazard. Aside from that, yeah, all the removal is in the Rakdos colors. So if I'm missing something, let me know. But I'm pretty sure that's all we really have to worry about. If we are on the draw, then it's much more likely that this thing dies to like a Heartless Act, Eliminate, Bone Crusher Giant. Alright, Passage. So, nice. I think we just go for the Innkeeper and then the Giant Killer and draw 2. And just assert crazy card advantage. Yeah, nice. Not bad. Yeah, crack your passage. I love to see it. Just sort out the hand a little bit. And it is a swamp. Okay, so maybe they do run Bloodchief's Thirsts. Alright, Dimir. Dimir Rogues with Zareth, maybe. Could just be Dimir Control without Yorion. We'll see. Alright, opponent does nothing. Love to see it. I want to play the Shepherd. So we'll just go to combat, see if anything gets targeted by removal. I could have also cast the Shepherd to guarantee myself the 2 cards right away. Thought Thief. Alright. So we can save our Innkeeper. I probably should have just played this out. It should be fine though. Draw 1 less card from the interaction. So yeah, this is just Zareth's on rogues. Anything they mill, we can use Lurrus to get back. And we are a little bottlenecked on green, so I wouldn't be too opposed to forests off the top, or like passage at this point. Alright, double inscription, sure. I mean, it's a removal spell right now, but there's only so much we can do about it. Other Innkeeper, okay. So how do we want to play this? Let's go for the Aspirant. See if the opponent wants to counter it. They do counter it, which I think is fine. And they have a Thieves Guild Enforcer, which I don't think I'm willing to trade for the Innkeeper, even though we have 3. So we'll see if they want to block something else. No blocks, okay. So let's bolt this in. Make a 1/1 Serpent. And just play out the Innkeeper. Protection from multicolored and reach, by the way, means you can block the Thought Thief forever. Passage, no crab, nice. And we've established a pretty wide board state at this point. So we're looking pretty good. Ooh, no double blue. Interesting. That means what? We don't have to worry about, we don't have to worry about Into the Story at least for a minute, but we probably do have to worry about Agadoom's Awakening. In that case, I want to get the Ooze down, but the Ooze without any other green mana isn't amazing, and ooh, that's a big power and toughness pump. Alright, so we take 4. And we get a free block here. Protection from multicolored. Okay, so can we tease out a lethal? I don't think so. This can go up to 4. I can fight... I can tap this. I can fight this. Then we hit 4. Not enough. Okay. Not hitting land is a little bit awkward, and only having 1 green source is also a little bit awkward. But that aside, I think we have to take out... Well, if we take out this, then... So is it the Lord, or is it the Rogue to push through more damage? I think we just go like this. Confirm 0. Shepherd fights here. Trade, which isn't ideal, but it's still fine. And do I get aggressive here? Sure, let's get aggressive. We don't have any adventure creatures right now, so if they trade off 1 Innkeeper, it's not the end of the world. Trade off the Giant Killer. I think that's also fine. It means we're not sacrificing this for a card. And we can make a 3/3. and block the Thought Thief. So we're not looking too bad. What's in the yard? Okay. Okay, opponent has learnt their lesson. They are only attacking with the Thieves Guild Enforcer. Sure. I'm gonna have to block that at some point, but I can probably just trade off an ooze for it. An ooze that can't actually grow. Get in for 3. Maybe. We don't attack with this because we are at 8 life and we want to be able to block the Thought Thief. Alright, that's 3 damage secured. Let's grab a forest before they mill all our forests. Okay. And so I can go for an ooze and play around an Agadeem's Awakening. Or I can play ooze by Lurrus. I think that's what we do. Ooze secured. Lurrus secured. Alright, do you have removal now? Another Thieves Guild Enforcer. That's fine. Agadeem's Awakening only revives 1/1 drop right now because they don't have any lands past 4. Alright, so maybe this is a Zareth-san. So we don't leave anything unblocked. I think now's the time we trade these. We have another one in our hand, so. And we do have the Lurrus, which helps. Another Thieves Guild Enforcer. Okay, a lot of mill triggers coming from the guy right here. Alright, nice. What's your last card? We don't know. So I can give this flying. Hit for 5. Is there any way to get more damage? I can play Lurrus and play a Casket. That actually seems pretty good. I think we... Oh, but I have plenty of options off Lurrus, eh? Okay, let's try to slam Lurrus first of all and see if that even works. Alright, Lurrus hits the field. Look at this. Look at all this stuff. Okay, let's go for the Casket. Jwari's, okay. Awkward. We'll attack the Stonecoil Serpent. If they want to trade, that's fine. And we leave this one back to block the Thought Thief. I mean, goes down to 4. That's a little risky. And you have 1 draw off the top. If they attack with both, I don't think I can lose if I block both. Alright, opponent just goes with that one. And that means they're dead on board here. They have to have something. Because this is just double protection from multicolored, so they have to have another threat. And if what they have isn't a creature, we just have lethal on board, so... Alright, they're digging through their bin, so Agadeem's? Yeah, Agadeem's for 1, okay. Very good. And that's lethal. Just like that. Protection from multicolored and flying. Stonecoil Serpent coming in once again with the flying victory. And yeah, the rest of that turn is literally Innkeeper and Guide Mother, so we're in a really good spot. Alright guys, and we are back. So this deck was really solid. Honestly, I only lost 1 game to a Yorion deck where we literally didn't hit land 2. I took a gamble off Innkeeper and 2 Intruder, giving us 2 draws, and we just didn't hit a second land. So you guys don't know how that kind of goes. But aside from that, this deck went in hard. Like, it puts in a lot of work. I really like the split between the really aggressive +1/+1 counter stuff that's really low curve and cheap, and the card advantage that the adventure creatures provide us in the Selesnya colors along with the Innkeeper. Like, it's really solid. We like exactly how I designed the deck to always have stuff to do with our mana and not just be top decking no gas lands and like low curve creatures that don't impact the board. We always have stuff to do whether it be cast other sides of our adventure cards, pump all our mana into big stone coil serpents, big fights, kick abundance, make 1/1s, make angels, buy Lurrus, play stuff out of the yard. We always have stuff to do, which is one of my pet peeves when playing aggro, just not doing anything and drawing off the top. So I really think this deck is great. I wouldn't craft it. It's not like top of the meta or anything, but it's definitely a contender. I would for sure give it a shot. So yeah, guys, that's it for today. The deck list will be in the description down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.